Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen. So in today's video, I am going to be showing you guys how to prepare my very delicious pepper ribs. Let's get into the video. So I am using pork baby back ribs. You could use whatever type of ribs you want to use for this dish. It really doesn't matter. You can use beef. If you have goat ribs, you can use goat ribs. It's really up to you. But yeah, first I'm just going to cut my ribs into little strips. I'm just cutting between the bones. You can cut your ribs big, small, medium size, cut it in half, cook the whole thing. You can even bake your ribs before or whatever you want to do. You can actually do that. This is just a easier way to be able to mix and season my meat without having to worry about if the season is going into the meat or not. So yeah, if you don't want to cut your ribs, you don't have to. You can cut your ribs also after it's done or when it's being served. So after cutting up my ribs, I wash my ribs with lime juice. I just let it sit in lime juice water for about 5 to 6 minutes. Rinsed it and then add my ribs to my pot. I didn't really record this part because I have a couple of videos on my channel showing you guys how I wash my meat. So I didn't really feel the need to add that. So after that, I add whole onion. My onions was really big. It's the onions from Sam Club. And then I'm adding my water to cook the meat. If you have beef, you will need to add more water than I'm adding because, beef takes a while to cook. So I'm just adding enough water that is going to cook the meat. And I don't want my meat to be too done. I don't want it to be completely as soon as you grab the rib, the meat falls off. I don't want it like that. I want my meat to be a little chewy, but not too chewy. I don't want you to be sitting there chewing it for 5 hours, 2 to 3 minutes, no. But I just want it to be done. And, as soon as you bite it, it come off the bone. But, yeah. You don't want it to be too pulled off the bone. So that's why I didn't add too much water. So after adding it, I realized my pot was a little too small. So I decided to change my pot. But before that, I added 1.5 scoops of peanut butter. I'm using a big scoop. I'm using a big spoon. You can use depending on how much ribs you have, just measure your peanut butter according to that. The peanut butter is very optional. What is wrong with my English today? It's very optional. You don't really have to add the peanut butter if you don't want to. The peanut butter just adds a very creamy and a little sweet taste to the dish. You don't really taste the peanut butter. This is me. I changed my pot. You don't really taste the peanut butter, but if you are somebody who just don't want to add peanut butter to it, you don't have to. So I'm about to start blending my peppers. I'm using habanero peppers, onions, and then I'm also using these frozen peppers and onion mix blends, whatever, from Walmart. You can find these from Walmart. I'm using 2 different kind of brands. That's what I'm showing you right now. But if you want to use fresh bell peppers, you can. That's not a problem. So I just added my ingredients to the blender, added water, and then just blend it until not too smooth, but yeah, perfect, just like this. So after blending it, I'm just gonna fry it. Add my seasoning. Season your pepper sauce according to how you will like it. I didn't add too much seasoning to it because I already had seasoning with my ribs. So you just wanna stir it, and you won't need to add any water because if you added the water from you blending it. So my ribs is starting to cook and it's getting to the point of the water is drying. So once the water dry, I'm just gonna taste one of it and to make sure that is done. So that's exactly what I'm doing right here. While your ribs is cooking, you will also need to stir it constantly, because with the peanut butter there, as the water starts to dry, the peanut butter will start to get thick. So you'll need to stir it so the bottom of your pan don't burn. So I also added a little bit of tomato paste to the sauce. I'm so sorry about that white block thingy that's right on the side right there. I didn't know that my camera stand was also in the way of the camera view. So the point of the tomato is to change the color of the sauce a little bit, to turn it from like a orange to a really deep orange. So that's why I added the tomato. You don't want to add too much that is gonna change the taste of the sauce. You don't even want to taste the tomato paste in it. That's the little amount that I added to it. Once all the water dried up in the sauce and you start to see all the oil bubbling up like this, it's time and it's ready for you to add it to your ribs. So once the ribs is also dry, you'll just add the sauce to the ribs like that. Then you'll want to stir it and make sure that everything is coated and the sauce and the ribs, they're mixing perfectly. So after stirring, you're just gonna let it cook a little bit for like 5 to 6 minutes, so the seasonings could mix, the seasoning from the sauce and the seasoning from the ribs, so they could both mix. And then yeah. So if you I realized that I had a little bit too much too much oil. So I'm just using my scoop, and then I'm like collecting the oil and making sure that the amount of oil that's in the ribs is not too much. And how I'm doing it is I'm just pressing my scoop lightly on the sauce, so just allowing the oil to slide down into the spoon. And then I stop once I see like there's like a little bit of gravy that's following the oil. I stop and I pour it out. Allow the oil to collect itself back. Allow a lot of the oil to get collected back into the little hole that I made. And then I do it again until I get the amount that I want. So after adding your sauce, you just need to taste your pepper ribs to make sure the seasoning is right. If you need to add anything, this would be the perfect time to add it. Then you will want to allow the pepper ribs to cook for about 5 to 6 minutes on medium heat. Once it's ready, you can serve your pepper ribs with rice, whatever you want to eat it with. You can eat it by yourself. That's up to you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I really hope to see you guys in my next video.